Arjun is 45 minutes into a 90-minute PI planning dependency session. There are 14 teams in the room. There are 200 sticky notes on the board. There are crossing arrows everywhere. Some arrows conflict with each other, some point to teams that have not been consulted yet, and at least 30 notes have no arrow at all. 6 conversations are happening simultaneously. Nobody is listening to any of them. Arjun has a dependency matrix on a sideboard that he drew himself to try to bring order to the conversation. Nobody is looking at it. It has not been updated in 20 minutes. It is, by any objective measure, completely useless. At the 90-minute mark, the session ends. 28 dependencies are still unresolved. 3 teams have made commitments they do not know they have made. And 2 program risks that should have been escalated are buried under a stack of sticky notes that nobody will sort through before Monday. The dependency conversation does not fail because teams do not care. It fails because it has no structure. Cross-team dependencies are one of the hardest problems in scaled Agile. Every PI planning event surfaces them. Very few PI planning events resolve them. The structural problem is simple. When you open a dependency conversation to the full group simultaneously, 14 teams, open discussion, no protocol, you create the conditions for maximum noise and minimum resolution. Everyone can speak. Nobody is obligated to respond. And without a formal response mechanism, a team can nod along to a dependency request without ever committing to anything. The 3 failure modes are always the same. No obligation to respond. Teams can listen to a dependency request and simply not answer. Commitments are implied rather than stated. A nod in a room is not a commitment, but it gets treated as one. And risks stay hidden until they become incidents because the session ends before anyone has assessed what cannot be resolved. By Sprint 1, Day 3, 3 teams are blocked on dependencies that were discussed in PI planning but never formally resolved. Arjun knows this because they are now in his inbox. The dependency session did not fail at Sprint 1 Day 3. It failed at PI planning when the structure allowed ambiguity to survive. Ambiguity in planning is a certainty of failure in delivery. What I need from you, WINFY, is a liberating structure designed specifically for moments where multiple parties need to make explicit, public commitments to each other. It was developed by Henri Litmanowicz and Keith McCandless, and it replaces the open dependency discussion entirely with a structured protocol that has one rule above all others. Every dependency request must receive one of 4 explicit responses. Nothing else is acceptable. The 4 responses are yes, no, yes, if, or need more information. Yes means the receiving team commits publicly to delivering the dependency. No means they cannot, and they must say so now, not on Sprint 3 Day 6. Yes, if means the receiving team can deliver, but only under a specific stated condition, which must be articulated in the session. And need more information means the dependency request is not yet specific enough to be answered, which forces the requesting team to clarify before the session ends. Every response is given publicly. Every response is timed, 2 minutes per dependency. And every unresolved item at the end of the session is automatically escalated as a formal program risk with an assigned owner. There is no middle ground. There is no vague commitment. There is no, we will discuss offline. The session has 5 steps. Teams prepare their needs before the session, not in it. One team at a time presents a specific need to a specific other team. The receiving team gives their response immediately. A scribe captures it on the board in the corresponding color, and anything not resolved in the session goes directly onto the program risk board with an owner before the room empties. Specific, public, timed, decisive. These are the 4 qualities that dependency conversations almost never have, and that WINFY makes non-negotiable. 2 weeks later, at the next PI planning event, Arjun changes 3 things about the dependency session. He sends every team lead a WINFY preparation template 48 hours before the session. A simple form asking them to state their dependencies in a specific format. From Team X, I need Y. By Sprint, Z, Day W. No vague requests. Specific, measurable, time-bound. On the day, teams sit in a horseshoe. The dependency board is at the front. Arjun explains the 4 responses. He sets a 2-minute timer per dependency. And he starts. Team 3 presents their dependency to Team 7. Team 7's lead does not hesitate. Yes, if we can deliver the authentication module by Sprint 2 Day 5, but only if the requirements are signed off by the product manager before Sprint 1 ends. The scribe marks it amber on the board. 2 minutes, next. 34 dependencies. 28 resolved in the session, 14 yes, 7 no, 7 yes, if with conditions. 6 moved to the formal risk column with owners assigned before anyone leaves the room. The session takes 41 minutes. The previous session took 90 and resolved nothing. For the first time in 4 PI planning events, every team in that room knows exactly what they have committed to, what they cannot get, and what the formal risks are before the session ends. The comparison is not subtle. 90 minutes of open discussion produce 0 resolved dependencies and 3 hidden program risks. 41 minutes of structured WINFY protocol produce 28 resolved dependencies and 6 formally escalated risks with owners before the room emptied. By Sprint 1 Day 3, dependency-related blockers had dropped from 11 to 2. The 2 remaining were the 6 formalized risks from the session. They were expected, owned, and being actively managed rather than discovered mid-sprint. The difference between a surprise blocker and an expected one is not the blocker. It is the planning structure that either surfaces it or hides it. A dependency without a response is a risk without an owner. WINFY makes both impossible to avoid. Before your next PI planning event or your next cross-team dependency conversation, regardless of scale, do one thing. Send every team lead a dependency preparation template 48 hours in advance. 3 fields only. From our team, we need what specifically? From which team? By which sprint and which day? That template is your entire preparation. It forces teams to make their needs specific before the conversation begins. And specificity is what makes a 4-response protocol possible. Drop your biggest current cross-team dependency in the comments. 1 sentence, what you need and from whom. I will show you how to frame it as a WINFY request, and the most complex examples get worked through in the advanced episode on program-level dependency management. In episode 6, we meet Chen, a Scrum Master whose team has been gaming their velocity metrics for so long that nobody notices anymore. The fix does not require a difficult conversation. It requires one uncomfortable question asked in reverse. I will see you there.